I'm keen to get cracking into the actual journey of the investments now as well, because again, this is going to be fascinating from our point of view. What was the first investment you got, Aaron?
Yeah, so I did the I don't know whether it's a typical thing, but I love doing a lot of things all at once. So I'm a 21-year-old guy. I've come back from my honeymoon. Whilst preparing for the wedding and stuff, we organised our first home, and we're in the beautiful Blue Mountains in New South Wales, Sydney. And when we got home, we got the keys. We're able to go straight from the honeymoon into our nice new first home. But if you fast forward the journey in there, I love finance. I'm not immune to shiny objects to chase after at times in life and business. I wanted to pay down that debt faster, and I fell into the wrong advice. I had a financial planning firm and a mortgage broking firm approach me to debt reduce my debt very, very quickly. And I fell into a bit of a trap there, and the end result was I was frauded a lot of my equity. I was frauded even into my tax environment, and it wasn't until I started getting myself educated in finance professionally by being a sales rep at the time and completing my master's of business. And my master's of business, I was so aligned to wanting to do more and more financial subjects, and I got to a point, and this was in 2009, I got to a point and I got this magical equation, and this magical equation was assets equals equity plus liabilities. And I went, that equation changed my whole personal strategy, my whole cleanup mess strategy, my whole team building development strategy, because I found that when I looked at my personal life, I had an asset because my house, I didn't really have any equity left, and I had a lot of liability. And I also found that with the investment strategy to help pay down my home faster that these advisors put me into was they had liability, they had my equity, but there wasn't any asset behind it.
Can I ask what that strategy was?
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interject. Yeah. It's just I haven't heard of this.
Yeah. So they set up fake companies, and I can talk freely. It's all sorted itself out. They set up fake companies. They issued lots of shares, and they were recycling other people's money to be able to not only live off for themselves, but pay down other people's mortgages, their other people. So it was a strategy where they pulled in a lot of different people, and they used new people to pay off old people. They used another person to pay off another person. Not dissimilar to what we've seen with some problematic other industries where they might build a concrete slab off someone else's deposit money, and then they don't have money to build the slab off the person that they paid the slab in the first place. So I'm just going to point it out there, right? Basically.
I'm not going to say what it looks like, but they have them in Egypt. Okay, I'll just frame it that way there. It just sounds a little bit like something we might find in Egypt. And I'm terribly sorry to hear you've gone through that experience, Aaron. But I tell you what, I suspect it's shaped you as a better investor and also taught you a lot from that experience.
Absolutely.
You said it's worked its way out, and I think sometimes the expensive lessons are the ones we learn best. I've certainly got some in my history, and I know Grant does as well. I think what's really interesting here is this didn't deter you. Right? You'd had this experience and then actually kept going in property. Like we know you've got more properties down the journey here. Did this set you back for a number of years or anything like that? Or how did you re-gear up to go again, and what did you do differently as you continued?
Cool. So I wasn't a broker at the time, and I had a variable job. I had a sales rep job. I had commissions. So there was some variability in my income, which is not unlike a business owner where we want the variability to keep going. And I then finished my master's of business, and I was expecting a second child at the time, and I had the tax office knocking on my door, and they needed to be paid out. So I had a big crash course I found people like tax lawyers. I never met one before. And they have a very awesome hourly rate if you can ever get to that level. I learnt about bank lenders, so I had to go cap in hand to a couple of banks, and one of the major banks did help me out and gave me the money I needed in a personal loan to be able to get rid of the tax office off my back. I was able to I engaged with a good man that came across my path who was a financial planner, and he had a whole range of extra help that provided me the basics of different things. I did play with the idea to become a financial planner. I did reject doing that. So probably a great thing at the moment because of the regulations sitting in that industry. And I took up mortgage broking, and he introduced me into some areas where I could get upskilled very, very fast on mortgage broking. And I vowed, I took that whole thing, I really vowed that no one that come across my path would ever get into that area of crappy scheme, recycling new people's money to old people money ever again. To even take it further, I then caught up with a few people that were also in that scheme, and I was able to pull them out of the problems that they were in as well. And a couple of them are still customers to today. And that was back in 2012. So the customers that I was able to help out, they are now property investors as well. They're building their wealth. They're doing it the slow burn. They're doing it the right way. And they still enjoy having a conversation with me nearly 10, 12 years later.
That's so awesome.
It actually sounds like it fueled your growth and fueled the path that you're on.
Yeah, become the catalyst, right? It's like this experience actually was the trigger to like you'd had a terrible experience in, and it horrifies me that people get caught into these things. And it's like the allure of being able to pay down your mortgage quickly, right? To live that debt-free life that so many people want, right? Actually ended you taking on a situation and experience that wasn't the right one, ended poorly, but then ends up being the catalyst into you being someone who can, well, hopefully help people avoid things like that and learn it from there. So I'm thrilled to hear you went through that journey, Aaron. How I ended up a marketer, right, what was really funny is that I got screwed over by a marketer. I was like, so that was my catalyst in the journey there. And Grant, did you get screwed by someone that started your business career?
Not as such. However, I do know two people. One got screwed over by VCs, and he now has a business to go and screw VCs. So he provides funding to startups. And another one got screwed over by a guy who sold him a car that was welded in two pieces together. And he said, I will make your business broke. And it was a fabrication company. And so he just imported a whole heap of stuff from China, made the guy go broke, and now he's absolutely crushing it. So I know heaps of stories.
It happens.
It is the greatest fuel.
Well, there's a little saying. What's the highest best use of a grape?
Yes,
and
I like the story.
It's wine. Yeah. How does the grape become wine? It gets crushed. So
I love the analogy. I feel for the grape though at the moment.
Yeah, I feel for the grape. But I think it's true. Like we have these bad experiences that like really fully propel us into the future.
Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into being a full stack business owner, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.